This thing is completely destroyed. So what really happened to the dirt bike muffler BMW? The pandemic had just hit and I was working on a massive construction site building 3 7-story apartment buildings. But then everything shut down. Even when the site reopened, constant exposures to COVID kept putting me in quarantine. Trapped at home for weeks on end, I was bored out of my mind. That's when I decided to start a YouTube channel. But just a few months in, I had completely drained my bank account. To make things worse, my daily driver WRX blew the engine. So there is oil pouring out of my car. Subaru in its natural habitat. We just took the oil pan off. Oh my God. What is that from is the question. The 3 rotor I was building for my RX-7 and my DMAX were both stuck at machine shops. I was out of content and out of cash.
In terms of money, we have no money.
That's when I decided I need a cheap project car, and Facebook Marketplace quickly became my hunting grounds. After months of lowballing everyone on Facebook Marketplace, I gave up until I noticed this guy Nelson dropping the price of his car. I messaged him again, and this time he actually responded. I asked if the car was rear-wheel drive and was suitable for drifting, and he said yes. But when I showed up, it was all-wheel drive. Unsure if it could even be converted, I said screw it, bought the car, and told myself I'd figure it out later. The night we got back to the shop, we tried taking out the front drive shaft, thinking maybe that would be a quick and easy solution, but of course that didn't work. I eventually found out the only way to make the car rear-wheel drive was to weld the transfer case. That meant pulling the exhaust, drive shafts, axles, the whole 9 yards. With the car torn apart, we started brainstorming ideas, and quickly things completely spiraled. If we're welding the transfer case, we might as well weld the rear diff, and if the rear diff is coming out, then we might as well weld an exhaust with 6 dirt bike mufflers on it. Logical progression, right? At the time, I had minimal MIG welding experience, but days of work later, we finally started the car up.
Oh my God! It's a lie! It's a lie!
Incomplete exhaust and all. The car, to our surprise, actually sounded pretty insane. I impulsively posted a few shots to TikTok, and overnight one of the videos hit over 3.5 million views. At the time, I only had a handful of followers, and I was absolutely blown away. But that's when everything fell apart. I suddenly had to leave the shop that I had been working out of, and in the middle of moving shops, my younger brother committed suicide. My life completely changed in an instant. The last memories I have with him are us working on this car together. They say those who truly want to commit suicide hide it well, and that couldn't be more true. In the chaos of funerals and moving, we were rushing to load the car on the trailer when suddenly it started to rain. The tires spun from the rain, the exhaust bottomed out, and the whole rear end of the car slid off the ramps, completely crushing it. We had to cut everything off and start over. I often cope through humor, so I started joking on social media about adding turbos to the car now that we had to take everything back apart. And that's when Max Speeding Rods reached out to me and offered to send me turbos. I officially landed my first sponsorship, but adding turbos meant that I needed to cover all the supporting modifications, turning this budget build into anything but. Back at my construction job, word spread about the BMW. The contractor handling all the stainless steel fabrication on site offered me all of their scrap metal. And suddenly, I was back in action. Months of TIG welding later, I finally had this crazy setup in my trunk. But that's when customer work completely exploded at the shop, leaving me no space to work on my projects. I once again had to move everything, but this time to my house. The past several months I've been working on restoring the DMAX, and I just finished a really cool custom paint job down the entire frame. The full video of the paint job will be linked down in the description in case you guys want to check it out. But now it's time to push the DMAX out and get the BMW back home. This project has been years in the making, and I know a lot of people are really upset that the car isn't running yet, and that's honestly on me for not being transparent over what's happened over the past several years. This car isn't just a project, it's a tribute to my brother and proof that no matter how sideways life gets, you can always find a way forward. Thank you to everyone who's stuck with me through all of these challenges. It's time for me to finish what me and my brother started. This thing is fucking filthy.